Hello, hello.
Mm.
That's going to be my new thing.
Hello.
Yeah, I need to mix it up sometimes and come up with something
It's kind of
new.
weird.
Is it?
The hello,
I thought it was charming.
hello. It's, you know what that is? It's
What?
Silence of the Lambsy.
The movie that I am reviewing that Missy has not seen is The Perfect Stalker.
It's
It's going to be
The
good.
Perfect Stalker?
It's called The Perfect Stalker. I think, what?
How is a stalker perfect?
Well,
Is there like a book
I guess
that you learn all the stalker rules?
there's
And you
like
follow the rules accordingly? He or she?
there's a way to stalk. Apparently that's better than other ways to stalk.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know, but we'll find out that she's not so perfect.
She's the
Mhm.
stalker.
The stalker.
See, because
is the
normally
she.
when you think of stalker, you think of some weird guy that lives in his mom's basement.
Uh-huh.
And then, like, he can't really get a girl, so he stalks somebody.
Yeah, we're mixing it up
You know?
with some rosé cider.
We were going to get coffee.
It didn't work out. We had to get the cider. Okay, so Grace's husband insists she go to a therapist. She was very angry about this, which I think therapy is fantastic. So
It just opened? The movie opens like
yeah, I mean, so she is mad at him. She's angry. She's resentful. She does not want to go to therapy.
Sounds like she needs therapy.
It's okay. She totally needs therapy. So they go to the therapist, and the therapist diagnoses her with histrionic personality disorder. I think they got it right. Just saying. So anyway, she is really mad. They come home from the therapy appointment, and the husband's like, I need to cool down. I'm just going to do some work.
Oh, he went to therapy with her?
Oh, yeah. Like he's trying to work it out.
Oh, is it marriage therapy?
I don't know. They don't really get into it,
No.
But clearly, like, there's something happening for her. So what ends up, the deal is he's like, okay, she's freaking out. I'm just going to stay in the garage and do some work. Well, he climbed up on the ladder to do a little electric work in the garage, and she does something with the buttons in the whatchamacallit. What is it?
And the panel thing?
Yes, the panel thing.
I have one of those in my garage.
And electrocutes him to death.
Did he not turn it off? Did he have the electricity turned off?
He turned it off.
Oh, she turned it back on. So she's a stalker and a murderer?
She's not a stalker yet.
Is he dead?
Yes. He flies back from the ladder being electrocuted and dies.
I'm thinking that's not a great way to go.
I think that would be a really bad way to go.
I was painting once, and I had the plug cover off of the thing of the plug.
Yeah.
We're
getting really technical here.
Yeah.
The plug thing and that
the thing that you plug the thing into the wall. It's
right.
Electric.
Right.
And I was taping over it because I hate painting, and I will roll the shit out of anything.
Yeah.
Just to get it done.
Right.
Because it's fast. So I took some tape, I put the strip of tape, and then I took both of my fingers and I put it behind the plug, and I touched the sides of the electrical outlet at the same time, and I literally put myself backwards. Yeah. Did I mention I was on a ladder at the time?
No, you did not mention that. Electricity is no joke.
I know.
I mean,
that's why they make those child-proof plug things.
I like electricity.
Sounds like they should have those when I'm just around.
Me too. And I don't you remember in the basement, we always talk about being in the basement when we were younger. I went to go, I don't know if you even remember this, but I went to go pull down the thing. What do you call it? We call everything a thing. The thing where from the fan, you know, the ceiling fan.
To turn the fan off or the light off, because there are two different things.
Yeah, I don't know which one it was. Anyway, so I pulled it and some shocks of electricity came through and I lost control of my right hand. And it was like, almost hit myself in the face until I like literally had no control over my hand. It ripped off. The thing that you pulled down ripped off in my hand.
So you couldn't let go of it because
I couldn't let go of it.
Fence.
Yeah. It was in the basement.
I will tell you this. Don't ever hold hands with somebody that's peeing on an electric fence.
That's really good advice.
Just some advice.
That's good safety
for you guys out there.
In case you were thinking about.
Never, ever hold hands with someone while they're peeing on an electric fence.
There should be like a safety manual of things to know in your life, and that would be one of them.
I just read a book.
You should. So Grace's husband is dead because she killed him, and she made it look like an accident, right? Okay. She moves to a new city, wants a fresh start. You know, it's like after you kill someone, you just want a fresh start after that. And so you move to another city where nobody knows you.
Yeah.
And if anybody asks, like at her new job, oh, are you married? No, my husband just died of a brain tumor.
Sympathy.
So she told everybody her husband died of a brain tumor. Not that she killed him when she electrocuted his ass.
I mean, seriously though, like if people are like, oh, are you married? No, I killed my husband. You can't really say that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a problem for sure. Okay. So because she has histrionic personality disorder, she wants to get a lot of attention. And she wears a lot of, I would say about here.
Keyhole clothing?
I didn't see any keyhole clothing, but maybe she had to have some in her closet for sure. And so like everything was really tight, and she's a lovely woman, but like everything is really tight and revealing. Mm-hmm. Like she's wanting people to kind of look at what's happening. Okay. So she's at the grocery store at her new city where she's starting fresh. And she sees this hot guy, so she pretends to like drop all of her groceries all over the floor. Yeah. Or the ground outside in the parking lot. And you know what all I could think of is, there's probably expensive eggs in there. There's probably like all this stuff. I don't care how hot somebody is.
I know, groceries are like gold.
Groceries are so expensive. Why would you... I know she's got some stuff going on, but that's all I could think of is like, that doesn't make logical sense whatsoever. Yeah. So she meets this guy. She introduced herself. She asks his name. She online stalks him, finds out that he is a teacher at a local university, and he's also an author. So she gets his book and like online stalks him and stuff. So she's in her new neighborhood, and she meets this woman who lives right up the street. And she said, hey, I'm your neighbor. And she's like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad to meet you. I'm new, and my husband died of a brain tumor, and I don't have any friends here. And she goes, well, come on over to my house. I'm actually having a get together, like, I don't know, Sunday or something. And she's like, okay, that's cool. Well, Grace goes, and she sees this sexy author.
Is it her husband?
Is the live-in boyfriend to the neighbor woman. What are the chances of that happening?
Pretty good if you're in a movie.
I know. Exactly. And so she's like, ooh, what's happening here? And then she says to the neighbor lady, do you want to go to lunch like tomorrow or Friday or something? And she's like, I wish I could, but I work out of town a lot.
Oh, convenient.
And I'll be out of town then. So now she knows when she has a chance to get to know Robert a little bit better, because Robert is going to be her man. Okay. She's very excited about this opportunity to spend some time with Robert. So one night after the neighbor lady is out, Grace runs out of her front yard screaming her head off, right? And Robert's like, oh my gosh, and runs out and's like, are you okay? Are you? And she's like, oh my God, I have a stalker. Oh my gosh.
She's saying that she has a stalker?
Yeah, she's saying she has a stalker. Called the police.
Is she hot enough to have a stalker?
She's hot. Call the police.
Not
and the police came. You don't have to be hot
to have a stalker.
You don't have to.
But it helps, I'm sure.
It probably does. I think like movie stars get way more stalkers probably.
That must be why I have so many.
You have like 21 stalkers right now.
I can't even go outside anymore.
She can't. It's true. So this is actually her in disguise. She disguise herself.
I don't really
because
look
of
like
all
this.
the stalkers.
I know.
It's a problem. So anyway, she's so upset because she has a stalker, and the police are like, oh, that's really weird because there's no evidence of anyone being outside your window or trying to stalk you. But okay. And she's like, oh my God, I'm so stressed out. Blah, blah, blah. Neighbor lady's out. Robert.
Clearly she can't stay alone that night.
She says, Robert, I really am stressed out. I need a drink. Let's go to the local watering hole. And so they do, and they get to know each other. So you should be out in
public when you have a stalker.
That's right.
That's been stalking you.
So they go to the pub and become closer, where they share some information about each other.
Kind of information.
Well, about how hard it was her, about the brain tumor, and like all that real information. Okay, so anyway, she's really freaked out because she finds out the neighbor lady, who is very successful in her job, maybe offered a bigger job in another town.
Oh, that's a shame.
And she was very upset to hear that Robert would go with her.
Oh.
Wherever she went.
Then Robert needs to put a ring on it.
I think Robert does need to put a ring on it, but whatever, to each his own. But Grace was not having it. So at another time when neighbor lady was out of town working, she was at the local watering hole. We see that she's behind the bar, rubbing dirt all over herself and ripping apart her clothes.
Like she's behind the building?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant she was like the bartender.
She's got dirt on her face. She might be the bartender. She's got dirt on her face. I mean, it's like her hair is all crazy. And she runs from the back of the pub and screaming, help me, help me. They take her to, and I forgot. She takes a rock and puts it in her skull.
Jesus.
And just, blood is everywhere. And then she's blood here. She takes it to 11.
For sure.
Freaking 12. She's bleeding. She's dirty. Man, guess who she calls from the emergency department?
Robert.
Why
does she barely know? Or you don't even know him.
She doesn't even know Robert.
Drink with them.
Apparently, she thinks there's some kind of something happening between them.
Robert said he was going to move wherever that other chick was going.
I know, but she is destined to be with Robert.
Oh, dear God.
Okay, so Robert, of course, takes her home and is comforting her. Yeah. I mean,
Please.
it's very serious. Okay. So he offers for her to stay in guest bedroom because obviously she's traumatized from freaking cutting herself with a rock. And she whispers, "You aren't going anywhere, Robert."
She whispers that to him?
To herself.
Oh.
Yeah.
Psycho. You're not going anywhere.
You're not going to go anywhere, Robert.
Oh my God.
You're my man. Have you ever had a stalker? I mean, there's obviously many.
Yeah, we've already established.
We've
like
established.
20
Right.
I don't think
any special ones. Any special stalkers that you had?
I feel like there were people that would, especially when I was bartending, back in
I
college. I feel like there were people that would come around because I was there.
Yeah, I bet.
I mean, obviously, how cute was I 20 years ago?
You're still so cute.
And
it's crazy.
I know. So I don't know. Because they were like, they would just like come in and like get a beverage and be like, "Hi."
Oh, they had crushes.
Oh, well, yeah, obviously. Who doesn't? I don't think I've ever had a stalker. Is that bad?
Yeah, you should.
I feel kind of sad right now that I don't have one. Do you have one? I mean, you have a pretty big internet presence. You might have one.
I don't have any right now, which is good. I don't have the time to deal with that really.
Well, I mean,
but I do remember.
That's the thing about having a stalker. You don't really have to do anything.
That's true.
Thank God. There's no time on your part that needs to be spent to keep the stalker.
I'm so busy. I wouldn't even have time to take one more thing on. But I will say, I have had some stalkers. Probably the most famous one of my stalkers was named Bill in college. Do you recall this stalker?
Bill.
We won't say his last name. Undergrad. Okay, so my sophomore year, when we lived together, and then my junior year when we also lived together, that's when the stalking took place.
Oh, I was incoherent.
You were drunk most of the time.
Yeah.
But if you recall, it got a little bit crazy. Actually, I had to report him because he was in my classes. And I remember him calling me, and like everyone's in the phone book.
Right.
Do you remember that? Like nobody had cell phones.
No, we didn't have cell phones.
And he was like, "I just wanted to call and say congratulations." And I was like, "What? Why?" "Well, you got the highest grades in all of the class." And I was like, "How would you know that? They're published by our last 4 digits of our social security number."
Shut up.
I'm not joking.
Oh my God.
And I was like, and he goes, "Oh yeah. So you had, because remember when a long time ago, it was all by social security number." Yeah. And so apparently I had my social security number on one of my papers in class, and he sat behind me and wrote it down. And so when they listed our grades, it was by the last 4 digits of the social security number, so he knew which one to look for.
Oh my God.
Did you not know that?
I don't remember that.
You were drunk. Because you were drunk those 2 years. So what ended up
so drunk all the time.
Well, what ended up do you remember this? Because we lived together at this point. It was Easter, and he brought a giant Easter bunny that was as big as me, stuffed animal, with the Prince CD, Most Beautiful Girl in the World, plus a giant bottle of the perfume Obsession, and left it on the front porch. You don't remember that?
I don't remember that at all.
I was living with you.
I was doing things. I was really busy.
You were doing things. That was crazy. And I'm not
America,
even done.
listen, I know that you probably think I'm a really shitty sister for being her roommate and her sister and not remembering this, but we went to West Virginia University.
It was the number one party school at the time.
It was
literally the number one party school.
It was the number one party school every year I was there, and then when I left, it became number 2.
It can't be a coincidence that happened.
Our dad even called me to ask to be like, it happened. It's number 2 now. You're not there anymore.
Yeah. I mean, it was bound to happen.
Yeah.
So I'm not done. I mean, there was a lot more stuff that happened with this guy, but I was the president of the Honor Society.
Of course you were.
Okay. And so we were like trying to get money for the society, you know, trying to do like fundraisers.
Mm-hmm.
And so for Valentine's Day, we did this fundraiser called Date for $1. And so we had, like, I had all these donations, like, I think it was dinner and flowers and a movie and just like all this stuff that would make this really great date. And it was a raffle. And so we had a booth in the Mountain Lair. For any of you who went to WVU, you know what the Mountain Lair is. So we had a booth there, and apparently at one point I wasn't working the booth. Yeah. So anyway.
Did you buy like 100 tickets?
Just wait. He kept asking me out and I kept saying no.
Well, Avi.
He's actually really cute and smart.
No, he's a stalker.
I know, but he was really cute and smart though. But no, I wouldn't go out with him because I was getting a weird vibe. Plus he had fingernails that were longer than mine.
Ew.
And I can't.
Oh God. Cut your nails.
I know. He was really cute though.
Never
which is
had
so
long
crazy.
Ugh.
I had very
Girls
short.
and guys.
I have very short nails.
Cut your nails to nubs.
They are really
disgusting.
Okay, so anyway, he just kept asking me out and I was like, no. Well, at the day that we were going to pull the winner, he shows up for the drawing and the audience.
Was he like in the back of the audience, like staring at you?
He was. Yeah. And so I'm the president, so I'm like going to draw the winner, and he won.
Did he buy like 100 tickets?
Yes.
Oh my God.
But I didn't know until after we counted them. He bought over $100.
That's a lot of money.
Oh, back then, I mean, that was what, like 90?
That's like $500 now.
96?
No.
7?
Oh yeah, 96.
So, 97. Yeah, so he won. And he said, okay, now you have to go out with me because because I won this drawing.
That's awful.
Yeah. I wonder whatever happened
to him.
You're lucky
you're alive.
I know.
What? You got to tell me his last name so we can Google it.
Yeah, but
he's probably watching right now.
Oh my God. So sorry. Hopefully you're totally stable now.
No.
And it's not an issue.
You're weird.
Yeah, that was pretty weird. The perfume was great though, like Obsession. I mean, that was not cheap.
Obviously, you spent $100 on raffle tickets.
I know.
Obsession was like a drop in the hat.
Probably.
Right.
So anyway.
Wow. I really lost like a few years of my life.
You lost more than a few years of your life, apparently.
Hey, my liver is in great shape now. It's recovered.
Right. So, yeah, doesn't it regenerate? Here you go. Yep. Okay. So anyway, the neighbor lady is leaving her office building and Grace beats her over the head with a crowbar and kills her.
We talked about this before. Once you're a murderer, you might as well just keep going.
She just thought,
just keep going.
I'm tired of waiting for Robert. I'm just going to have to beat her with a crowbar. You thought your neighbors were bad.
My neighbors are... I'm surprised I haven't been hit.
They could be worse. Your neighbors could actually be worse than they are.
hate you all.
Yeah. That's why I moved. I used to live by her and I moved because her neighbors were so uncool. She pays a guy, I don't know if it's on Craigslist.
Probably.
I think it's supposed to be on Craigslist. She pays a guy to leave her 29 creepy messages on her voicemail.
Definitely Craigslist.
But what Grace didn't know, and she plays it for Robert, like, oh my God, Robert, see, here's like evidence of my stalker. Well, Robert has got a trick up his sleeve where he does like a reverse call and finds out it's coming from a convenience store in a sketchy neighborhood. So he's like, get in the car. We're going to go find out who this guy is.
Whoa, Robert.
They get in the car, they show up, and he starts like grilling the cashier guy. And guess what? He's like, oh man, I'm sorry. Somebody paid me a bunch of money to leave 29 creepy voice messages.
29.
Instead of thinking that Grace did it, he thinks the stalker did it.
He thinks that the stalker killed his girlfriend?
He thinks that the stalker killed the girlfriend, I think, or somebody else did, and then paid the convenience store guy money to leave the messages. He still doesn't think Grace has anything to do with that because she's just like so nice.
Oh, I thought you were saying like he was suspicious of Grace and was like calling her out on the stalker crap. Okay.
Nope. He still thinks it's some like mean, terrible guy.
Right.
Okay. So then what happens is there was this old guy in the neighborhood. He's actually a retired guy that used to do detective work for an insurance company, like insurance fraud and stuff. He would do that kind of stuff. Okay. And he was starting to be onto her. He was doing a little background. He's like, all of a sudden this chick moves in the neighborhood and people start dying. Okay. Like maybe there's something to this. Something's happening. So what she does is shows up to his house and kills him with a crowbar.
Like I said, you just keep rolling.
She just keeps going.
Right.
All right. Well, what happened was they were wrestling around a little bit. A button fell off her sweater and he lives alone.
Who was wrestling around?
Grace and the detective insurance guy. Like they were like physically, you know what I mean? Not messing around, but like wrestling kind of whatever.
Okay.
And then she hit him on the head and threw him down the steps and he died. Well, Robert's pretty upset because Robert and insurance guy were friends and Robert finds his poor dead body at the bottom of the steps.
His girlfriend died.
His girlfriend's dead.
Weird insurance guy died.
His friend insurance guy's dead and he needs comfort. And guess who's there to do it? Grace.
With open arms.
He falls asleep. He's so exhausted from everybody dying and all this stress. He falls asleep on Grace's couch. Well, Grace waits till he passes out, puts like his arm around his arm around her, and then like falls asleep. And then they wake up like that.
Was that supposed to be like subliminal messaging kind of thing?
I don't know. I mean, I think that's creepy. But whatever. You know?
Bill
I mean,
probably
again.
did that.
Bill probably would have done that for sure. Yeah. I'm surprised it didn't go a little farther than that. Good thing you weren't supposed to protect me since you were drunk.
I was busy.
I just dumped rosé all over my pug.
Sure. Oh.
Okay, first of all, you know what you were busy doing? Going to Blockbuster, using my name, getting VHS tapes out, and ruining them. And then I was getting collection notices.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Exactly.
That wasn't me.
It was you. I found the VHS in your room. What do you mean it wasn't you?
You know how many people were in and out of that house?
I called them and they described you.
No.
Are you seriously not going to take responsibility for that? No. That cost me like $50-some.
Shame. You know how many people slept on the floor every night there?
That sounds unsafe.
I mean, it was the 90s.
True. You can do whatever you want in the 90s.
Pretty much.
Well, this is the problem. There is also a savvy police officer who starts to wonder why everyone's dying when Grace, I hope you know, like some of our audience have made comments about you or yawning.
I'm anemic.
So am I.
I've been up since like 3 a.m. Audience.
Okay. So this is the thing. He's upset. Grace is comforting him, right? He thinks she's just a nice person. But Robert talks to the police guy who is starting to think that Grace is a total sociopath.
Okay.
And he's like, her husband was somehow electrocuted and died. And he's like, wait a minute. She told me he died of a brain tumor. So now we're starting to question some things.
Right.
Okay. Robert goes over for dinner. She invites him over and she has got this black dress on, like, if you know what I mean.
So like she dresses normally.
I mean, it was like exceptional.
Yeah, but you said the girls were out anyway.
But it was exceptional this night. She looked great.
Okay.
So he was pretending to like her to try to get her to confess.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, if we are going to be soulmates and make this relationship work, you have to tell me if you killed insurance detective guy. And she admits it.
Rule number 1 of being a murderer, you don't admit to anything.
Exactly.
Even I know that, and I'm not a murderer.
Right. Again, for the rule book.
Yes.
The life handbook.
Right.
That you're talking about writing.
It's like rule number 1.
Exactly.
You don't tell anybody.
Right. Okay. So, she starts to kind of question why he's all of a sudden loving her. Or not loving her, but like acting like
interested.
He likes her. Yeah, like he's interested or whatever. Right?
Yeah.
And she's like, I just admitted to killing someone. I'm not sure he really likes me. Yeah. So
God, she's a bad criminal.
Yeah. She's a bad criminal for sure.
Yeah.
So she pulls a gun on him. Well, she's suspicious because she just admitted to murdering insurance guy. Okay?
But they're soulmates.
She demands, at gunpoint, she demands for him to say, I love you.
Oh, God. Listen, girls. If he doesn't say it willingly, just be done.
Well, the thing is, I have to wonder, and obviously she's got
those are some serious words. You can't
mental health problems happening.
Right, I know, but you don't,
But if you say,
if someone put a
I'm
gun
got a gun to your head.
Yeah, I don't think I would tell them.
Really?
Yeah.
I tell them whatever they wanted to hear.
Because I would probably roll my eyes.
That's true. That would be like your natural response.
Like this. Love you too.
All the time.
Yeah.
Tell
love
me
you too.
Yeah. Give me an experience I haven't had before. I've had too much rosé. Sorry. I rarely ever drink. Okay, so the thing is, if you have to put a gun to someone's head and demand they say, I love you, I'm thinking you need to question this relationship.
Yeah.
I'm not a marriage therapist, but I'm thinking, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. So, I mean, what?
You need to move on. Yeah, like you said, you need to move on for sure.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, he gets the gun away from her.
Okay.
And then she tries to stab him with a knife.
Oh. It's always good to have a backup plan.
Yeah. And then he gets the knife away from her. And then he shoots her in the arm.
All right.
Yeah. And basically that's it.
So the police just come
and then he gets through it. But I'm wondering, it doesn't seem like the perfect stalker situation. But I see like what you're saying, because it doesn't seem like she would be stalking, because she's a woman. Like you said, you have this idea that it's like a man stalker. Mm-hmm. She's beautiful. She's smart.
I think the title on this one is misleading, because it wasn't the perfect stalker. Because if it was the perfect stalker, then she would have gotten away with everything and gotten the guy.
But how much can you stalk, really? Because even if she did get the guy, how do you sustain that? Do you know what I mean?
Well,
eventually what?
Oh, like if you're in the relationship with the person that you're
stalking, like what happens if you are successful?
Well, I guess you have to find somebody else to stalk.
It just seems like a lot of work.
It does. It sounds exhausting.
Oh my God. I don't have time for that.
I know.
Oy. So make sure that you guys send us a message.
Or subscribe. I've learned about these things. You can hit a button, and I think it tells you when we post something.
Oh my gosh, that's right. Mm-hmm. Good job. Mm-hmm. I'm learning about it too. And so subscribe.
Yeah,
maybe I need more of it.
Yeah, I'm learning.
Look at that. There's like barely any left.
Thank God I'm driving her home.
I know. So you need to subscribe. We would love for you to do that.
Yeah. Comment below. Tell us things.
Yes.
We love fun things.
We do. And even if you're a hater, we like you too.
We like you too. Because we'll just make fun of you.
It doesn't even matter. We actually got a couple hater comments.
I know, it's the best.
Yeah, we absolutely love you haters.
People need help.
But we like you anyway. Okay, we'll see you later.
Bye.